So, good morning. In this class, we are going to talk about organometallic catalyst reduction aspects. So, we discuss about a reduction aspect of organometallic complexes. Now, we will be talking about organometallic complexes with the perspective of catalytic point of view. So, you know that by definition, catalyst is the substance that accelerates the rate of chemical reaction without itself undergoing any chemical changes. So, basically catalysts will help to facilitate atom economic in chemical reaction, and you know that the catalyst has been used in many chemical processes, both in petroleum, petrochemical and fine chemicals, all kind of industry and laboratories it has been used. If you see the Arrhenius equation, the rate constant is directly equivalent to the rate of, that is a Arrhenius frequency factor and exponential power of minus EA by RT. So, what is the role of catalyst? Basically, the catalyst has to increase the rate of reaction by two ways. One is it has to increase the frequency factors, and other one is it has to reduce the activation energy. That is because it's E for minus EA, exponential power of minus EA, so it has to reduce the activation energy. So, if you see that the activation energy basically lower the activation energy, which facilitates the opening the way to lower the Gibbs free energy of activation. Basically, you can see that there is a here non-catalyzed or uncatalyzed reaction. You can see the energy of activation is Gibbs free energy of activation is this much, whereas in presence of catalyst the activation energy is reduces. So, you will get a different stage of activation and gives the product, but you see that overall Gibbs free energy from the molecules converted from reactant to product should not change, but the overall energy of activation, energy required for the activation is going to be reduced. That is what the catalytic property, and it basically increases the efficiency of the reactions, and it also reduces the side product, and it also reduces the waste production. That is what a catalyst. So, all of you are very familiar that the catalysts are two types. One is homogeneous and other one is heterogeneous. In the case of homogeneous, both reactant and catalyst soluble in reaction medium. So, it should be either both are in liquid medium or both are in solid medium or both are in the gaseous medium. Whereas heterogeneous catalysts, the reactant and catalyst are in different phases. So, here is the comparison table for the advantages and disadvantages of homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysts. Both has its unique advantages as well as disadvantages. So, here it is summarized. So, and also what are the properties? You can see that if often the heterogeneous catalyst it will involve with the gas and solid. So, mostly for example zeolite reforming and other things, the zeolite is a solid and the paraffin or molecules will be normally the hydrocarbons will be in the gaseous forms. So, it is a gas solid interaction or liquid solid interaction. This is what a heterogeneous catalyst, whereas in the homogeneous catalyst it is either in the liquid or solid soluble in the reactant, that is in the mostly in the liquid phase medium, okay, in presence of solvent. And normally if you see the heterogeneous catalyst it need a high temperature, whereas homogeneous catalyst require a low temperature, and the activity of heterogeneous catalyst normally low, whereas homogeneous catalyst normally it is high. And another important parameter is when you talk about heterogeneous catalyst, the diffusion is very much important. Diffusion factor is very much important. The molecule has to diffuse into the active sites, whereas when you talk about homogeneous catalyst, it is not so much, it is facile. Okay. The another thing is like heat transfer. So, often the non-homogeneous heat transfer is going to happen in the heterogeneous catalyst, because as such the term itself says that it is a heterogenic nature, whereas that is not in the case of homogeneous catalyst. The most important thing is product selectivity. So, you can see that often the homogeneous catalysts are more selective than heterogeneous, because the homogeneous catalysts are like a single site catalyst, so it will be always it will be more selective. And another important aspect is recyclability. So, you know that the catalytic recyclability is in the case of heterogeneous catalysts quite easy and cost effective, whereas in the homogeneous catalyst it is often it is a challenging process. Similarly, if you talk about mechanism aspect, homogeneous catalyst can be understood, the mechanism aspect can be easily understood and can be easily able to explain how the reaction proceed, whereas heterogeneous catalyst very challenging. That is the reason even the many of the industrial catalysts are mostly based on the homogeneous catalyst. And product separation, as we have mentioned, the product selectivity as well as recyclability, then product separation always easy in the case of heterogeneous catalyst, whereas homogeneous catalyst sometimes need a problematic because we need to go for column separation and other kind of different tedious process we have to involve for the product separation. And the tuning the active sites, so the homogeneous catalyst normally easy because you can, later we'll talk about how we can tune the active sites for the various catalytic reactions. Often the homogeneous catalyst, the tuning the active sites are easy, whereas in the case of heterogeneous catalyst, it's always found difficulty. And deactivation, normally the heterogeneous catalysts are not so sensitive with respect to deactivation, whereas homogeneous catalysts are often sensitive. For example, the external element like water sensitive reaction or moisture sensitive reaction, all will lead to the homogeneous catalyst has a more sensitive in nature. So we can see that the heterogeneous and homogeneous catalysts are its own advantages and the disadvantages. But if you see that overall lot of industrial process, if you see that fine chemical synthesis, mostly homogeneous catalysts are used. Petroleum and petrochemical industries, mostly heterogeneous catalysts are used. So when you talk about homogeneous catalysts, often the organometallic complexes based homogeneous molecules are used as a homogeneous. So when you talk about catalytic activity of organometallic catalyst, which has been influenced with it two important components, that is one is metal ions and other one is ligand attached to the metal ions. So when you talk about metal ions, the catalytic property is going to depend upon its formal charge on the metal center. Normally it can be understood with the help of oxidation state, and then the metal ion, how its ability to form the bond under optimum strength with the incoming substrate, because it should have the optimum strength means when the bond is forming with the metal and the substrate, the same way once the reaction is complete, the reactant, the product should be leave from the active sites and give to the product. That is what it is, the ability to form the bond of optimum strength. Optimum strength means it should form the bond with the metal center. Then after the reaction, it should also ability to leave from the active center. So that is more important. Then another one is electronic environment. So as we already discussed that electronic environment play important role on the homogeneous catalytic material. So which we normally discuss based on the 18 electron rules, which we already discussed. Then another important factor is coordinative unsaturation. So often the homogeneous catalyst can be more active when the catalyst become the coordinative unsaturation. So whenever the complex having the like carbonyl, hydride or phosphine ligands, so when these kind of complex having this kind of ligands, when it react, some of these ligands can be leave from the active sites and generate the coordinatively unsaturated moiety, so which facilitate the reaction proceed better way. So example is here is a Wilkinson catalyst. You can see that in which there is a 16 valence electron. So there will be a 2 coordinatingly unsaturated sites are there that will facilitate this catalyst is a promising for the catalytic hydrogenation, which we will be discussing in the next case. Okay. Then when you talk about organometallic complexes, other important aspect is ligands. So ligand may be defined as the elements or combination of elements which behave as a Lewis acid, or it can be ionic or neutral molecules. So ligands are two types in general. We talk about different types of ligands and already metal alkyls, allyl and all types of ligands we have discussed already. So I am not going to be elaborate too much. But then when you talk about organometallic catalysts, the ligands are two types. That is, one is ligands that are active part in the catalytic cycles. Example like hydride ions, alkene, carbonyl, etc. They are all called as what is called as participate ligands. There are a group of ligands which do not participate directly in the catalytic cycles, like cyclopentadiene, phosphine, etc., but play an important role in activity, selectivity of the catalytic cycle. That means it can tune the electronic environments and steric environment and various other parameters it can tune, but it will not participate in directly participate in any catalytic reaction. They are all called as what is called as non-participate ligands. So the ligand, as I said, that often able to direct the course of reaction by modifying steric or electronic environment, in particularly non-participate ligands. So how it will be involved, that can be understood with One is trans effect. So actually trans effect we already seen in the coordination chemistry. So when you talk about trans effect, normally when organometallic complex involved for the bonding or involved for the catalytic reaction, normally there will be some leaving groups which will be, so the leaving group where in which the metal is going to coordinate with the reactant molecules. Normally the leaving group, trans to the leaving group play important role in the organometallic catalytic reactions. So that's why it talks about the ability of the transition metal ions binding with the substrate or ability to coordinating, all the things will be depends upon the trans effect of the molecules present in which the substrate is going to coordinate. That is a trans ligand which is in which the coordinating sites are there. Okay. Then second thing is ligand electron donor acceptor property. So the ligand electron donor acceptor property as well as cone angle, or it is called as a steric factors. So these two factors mostly play a very significant role in the case of organometallic complexes. These two factors normally explained with the help of the what we call as the one of the important organometallic ligand is the phosphine ligands. So it is mostly based on the phosphine based ligand. It has been studied. Of course, it can be applied for other ligand also, but organometallic complex phosphine play important roles on the organometallic catalyzed reactions. So the electronic donor acceptor property as well as cone angle, that is steric angle, steric factors can be explained based on the phosphine ligands. So one of the famous scientists called as a Chadwick Tolman developed the steric and electronic parameter for the phosphine ligand and explained how it can control the catalytic reactions. So that's what we are going to talk about now. That is what is called as a Tolman electronic and steric factors. Basically, he explained based on the phosphine ligands. So you know the phosphine means PH3 and have a pyramidal structure. And one of the important interesting aspect is this phosphine ligand can be obtained with the various, it can tune the various properties of phosphine ligand by substituting the hydrogen. So when you substitute one hydrogen, then it is called a primary. When you substitute two hydrogen, then it is called secondary. When all the hydrogens are substituted with alkyl, then they are called a tertiary. Based on the number of organic group present in the instead of hydrogen, they are called as a primary, secondary and tertiary. The most important phosphine ligands are tertiary ligands, that is PR3. So it's one of the important ligand in the organometallic catalyst. And how they are going to control, as I said, that it is going to be the catalytic property of this materials in the phosphine ligand is going to be controlled with the help of two factors. One is steric and the other one is electronic factors. And as far as phosphine ligand, it is an excellent soft donor ligands, and you can vary the property like sigma donor or pi acceptor property can be varied with the help of the R group present in the phosphine ligand. So it's going to be significantly change the steric property. It also significantly changes the electron donor and acceptor property. And another interesting thing is the phosphine ligands are exist in the different form, like bi, tri, tetra coordinated phosphine ligands also known. They all play a significant role in the two parameters. One is called as a Tolman steric parameters, that is explained with the cone angle, that is theta for a. So steric parameter theta for a symmetrical phosphine ligand. Suppose if you take a PR3, P maybe, say R maybe methyl. So if you take that, the apex angle of the cylindrical cone, that is, you can see that. So if you see this angle, the angle apex angle created by the phosphine, if you take that from metal and phosphine located in the bond distance approximately 2.28 Armstrong. Normally metal phosphines, organometallic complexes, the metal to phosphine bond distance will be 2.1 to 2.35. So he taken average 2.28 Armstrong, assume that distance, and then the apex angle created by the phosphine ligands. That is how from the center of the phosphorus atom, which touches the van der Waals radii of the outermost atom of the model. For example, see that the cone he has been drawn the cone by touching the van der Waals radii of the outermost atom present in the phosphine model. So he has derived the cone, and this cone angle talk about the steric factors. So more the cone angle, then you are going to give the more stericness. Bulkiness, it is basically talk about bulkiness. For example, see, it may be good leaving group, but then it is, if it is a bulkiness is there, then what will happen? It will not leave, it will not allow to incoming ligand, incoming substrate. So reactivity will be varied. That's what he explained based on the cone angle. So basically the cone angle is represent that the symmetrical phosphine taken as the apex angle of a cylindrical cone, center from 2.28 Armstrong, from the center of the phosphorus atom, which touches the van der Waals radii of the outermost atom of the model. So this theta he coined as a cone angle for the steric factor to indicate the space that ligand occupied about the metal center. That is the amount of space the ligand is going to be occupied in the metal center. Because if you have the bulk phosphines, it is going to be occupy the more space, it is going to be steric influence the overall rate of the reaction. That's what it is going to influence. So here you can see that trimethyl phosphine, you can see that cone angle is around 118 Armstrong, 118 degree. You can see that how the apex, the van der Waals radii is touching the cone. Whereas if you take triethyl, you can see the cone angle is 132. That means the ethyl gives the more stericness compared to methyl. The same way phosphine and other kind of molecules. So the summary, you can see that how the starting from phosphine to different molecules, he has found out the cone angle, and then he correlates the reactivity. For example, you see that here phosphine, simple phosphine, the cone angle is less, but it is a very good sigma donor. Then what will happen? It will not leave easily. The same time, see, cone angle also higher, but it should also leave. But it is depends upon the two factors. One is cone angle, is also involved in the reaction. So based on all the factors and all the preliminary process, what has made it, he has some study all the